everyone. Welcome to the Crystalline Podcast, a podcast all about self-love, personal growth, and self-worth. I'm your host, Summer Clark, and again, it's been a moment, and I'm so sorry about that, but I have been busy. Oh my god, so lame. Okay, so in this episode, we're going to be talking about getting a job and manifesting getting a job, and yeah, so let's get into it. Okay, so to get a job, everyone's situation's different. Everyone might be super career driven and they know what they want to do from the get-go, and you know, they're just into it, and everything they do in life is to manifest this career. And there are some people who just want on the side support to help them, don't care, entry level job, money, support, financial support, got it, and then they can do what they want to do. Or there is someone again that's just financial support and that's it. And sometimes they don't have ambition, which I find is really sad, and not sad and that's really lame, but sad, depressing. People, I just don't know why people, and that's kind of what this podcast is all about. People find your little ambition, find your little spark, find that thing that makes you you. And there are just some people on this planet who just walk around and don't do that. They just right, I need to pay my taxes and I'm just gonna get a job to do that, which is really sad. And I feel not sad again. It sounds really depressing because, we're here, we've got this little purpose, we're all here, we've got a thing to do on the planet, and even if you don't find it right away, and that's okay. My nan says all flowers don't bloom at once, once, you know what I mean? Every flower, you know, they bloom at a different time of year. So, and that may be the case for you. Sometimes it might not happen until you're in your 30s. Sometimes I've seen 17-year-olds Emily Desai, Emily Desai. She's a YouTuber I follow, and she's 18 and she's got it together more than I have. And I'm just what? I'm in my 30s and it's what? But she's great. If you guys want to follow her for fitness and nutrition support, which is really important. I'm gonna touch upon that in later in this episode, which has to be 20 minutes long because that's all the space we got. Loom. Right, so I recently got a job and I'm exhausted. What is that? And that's why we're gonna go into nutrition, because I've learned from my mistake. I was so tired yesterday. I just woke up at a random time. I was what? And I was still fully dressed. My teeth hadn't been brushed. I just woke up. And I was listening to the Good Hang podcast, and I've listened to all of the episodes in my sleep, which, okay, sure. But I was watching the Dakota Johnson one, and because I love Dakota Johnson, I think she's great. And she's her personality, she's just fantastic. And she had the cutest dog on there, but I just fell asleep, and I would listen to every single episode, which is really funny. I'll have to listen again. Fine, sure thing. So the first thing to getting a job is, I think, in a way, manifesting it, which I know right, hang up right now, it's over. Yeah, so I started to do this thing, which is in this book here. So it's called Positively Wealthy. I think I've brought this up so many times. I'm going to bring up a couple of books that I have brought up a few times, which is fine. And in it, it says a line that says, "Thank you, universe." Wait, that every time you go to spend money, right? So you're kind of giving gratitude to the universe. I know, right? It's so weird. Um, but it says, "Thank you, universe, for allowing me to spend this money. I trust that it will come back to me tenfold." And so it is. And I start to do that. And I know some of you are yeah, right, okay, sure, that happens, right? Yeah, okay. Sorry, what, you didn't actively seek a job? And I'm yeah. And there were times I actively seeked a job where I literally just applied for everything, like about 50 jobs, anything, it doesn't matter. And then I would wait for them to choose me. I think I got about like three responses, maybe even four, which is really funny because one of them was something I was actually recently considering going into, that I got a response from. But I got three responses, I think, and then two of them responded to me, and I responded back, and then they ignored me, and I was like, what? So that was a bit odd. Um, but really what happened for me is that I just woke up one day and then I thought, I was like, oh yeah, why don't I go for them? Because I literally just wanted a job that will help me support what I want to be doing. A job that I could do repetitively, that I didn't really care about, that I could just do and then leave. Like, I don't care. And the universe did deliver on that job, whether I liked it or not in the first place, because I was like, oh, it's so crap. It's like, this is a hellhole. Why did I do this? Why did I choose this? I should be doing something else. My computer's taking off. It's fine. And I was like, okay, so let's go into something that's more, me. Even though I didn't have the skills to do it yet, I thought, let's look at this. And I thought about going to car sales, and I'm still actually quite considering going to car sales because I love the whole element of selling. But then I thought yesterday, no, I'm not going to do that because that's not the purpose of why I was getting the job. That's not like everything else. Sure, I'm going to be going into sales, but it's going to be my own business idea, which is like on the side. So it's going to be coaching at the minute whilst I'm getting my degree in psychology and to become a cognitive behavior therapist. And then I thought about, because um with journals, it's going to be journals part of it. Journals going to be the main source, but this is one of my prototypes which failed. Everything about it failed. Ooh, look at that. That's supposed to be the middle, like if you guys are watching on Spotify. Why is that not centered? Just, yeah, everything about that prototype failed. Like the colors, like pages, the page colors aren't good. So I was like, right, I'm going to take this into my own hands. I'm not going to go for a publisher. I'm going to make them myself, which challenge accepted. Because it's something I'm actually passionate about, and I do like the handiwork things. Like, I do like getting involved, and I think it's just a bit more unique in doing that. And sure, when the business scales up, I'll have to employ other people to do what I do, like delegate my tasks and stuff. But for now, that's it. So it's just gonna be like journals and other things that I'm gonna be selling. That's all like self-care and stuff. And I can't wait to launch a business. I've been trying to do it, and I realized that actually I could either get a loan or get a job. And it's like, because it's such a low I wouldn't need that much of a loan. I'd need like £300, and I thought, it's probably best to get a job because I'm gonna have to keep things going, like a website, and going to places, like being able to pay for like market stalls and stuff. And even if I got a one-time loan, like, of say whatever, it's just like, is that going to last throughout the year? So if I want to go to market stalls and do these sales like in person, and talk to people, and build my skills in that. So it's just, I was like, well, I think I'm gonna need a job for that longevity. So yeah. But again, like, looking for a job is like the right one will find you. Like, because I'm like a Taoist. I believe, like, because they believe like you just take, like, I think it's 28%, so you do 20% of the action, and then 8% like it'll work for you, which is like, okay, sure. So like, if you were to plant a seed, like, go out right now in the ground at the right time, plant like a seed. Oh, like a flower. And then it will either bloom or die. So it will, yeah, it will either, like, and that's the 80% of the work. So you can't force things to happen. Things will happen for you. The right things will happen for you. It depends, like, on like the conditions of things, the, the environment that you put things in. But like, it depends. Oh, that seed's gonna grow. That's so weird, isn't it? But do you get what I mean? But like, if you guys are looking for a job, think about it. Like, I've always discussed like Ikigai, like, and I'll bring it up again because it's super important. I just got it on the back of the book. Where it's just like this little guy. What is that? He's so cute. Um, so basically, like if you did this yourself, like if you did like little circles, like a little circle diagram, so like, okay, so what do I love to do? Oh my gosh, what do I love to do? And sometimes this is really hard to figure out what your ikigai is. And I believe like mine is like giving advice and, helping people in that way. And this can come in all shapes and forms. Like, I got kids' books on the way, and I want to do public speaking, and I got you guys to talk to. I just want to do like coaching, and probably not coaching. I don't really like the idea of coaching because everyone and your uncle was a coach in lockdown, and it was just so like oversaturated, and the title of a life coach kind of got like, you know? So, um, yeah, no, yeah. But, do what you love, what the world needs, like create that in another circle, what the world needs, and what you can be paid for as well, what you're good at, and what you're good at and what you can be paid for is your profession. Like that's it. It's like, what can you be paid for? What are you good at? Simple. Oh, I should be doing that as a career. It's like it's so strange, and it's just like do what you love, what you're passionate about. And I'm very passionate about talking to you guys and telling you guys what for. Helping you guys in that way. And it's just like what the world needs. I hope the world needs me to talk to them. So I'm just using me as an example, sorry. And like, what's my mission? It's like talk to you guys and telling you what for, and your vocation is like what you can be paid for, what the world needs. And in the center of it is like your ikigai, which this is up to you to figure out. Like, what is it? And have fun with it. Don't stress about it. Like, gosh, we've all been there, like stressing about it. And that really is torture. Don't ever, this is something that is you and it belongs to you no matter what. Do not torture yourself in finding it. Do not tell yourself what it is and what it isn't, because, you'll know when you know. You'll know when you know. And I was talking to my friends about it. Like, a couple of my friends were just having like a breakdown about their life. And I was just like, yeah, like, you know, maybe you weren't supposed to be like this, or maybe you weren't supposed to do that. It's like, have you ever heard of Ikigai? And they were like, no. And I was like, well, figure it out. Like, shove the book at their face and figure it out. But whilst you're doing that, again, find your skills, up to your skills, create a timeline. I created a timeline of like what I was gonna do. Like right now, I was like, right, I'm gonna stay in this job. I'm gonna build that clientele, build my rapport, get that reputation, work on these journals because I have that money to do it in the longevity, in the long sense. Like I said, I was really thinking about going to car sales. Like I was really thinking about it, and I was like, oh, that's just perfect. It's just perfect for me. Because I was thinking about doing automotive, like a mechanic course, just for my car because it's so expensive. To like the labor cost on your car when you look at the receipt, the bill, and you're like, oh my gosh, I could have done that. So that's really handy to have, even if I want to break down or anything, or to be like, right, this is what's happened. And I actually did try to make some granny overalls. I got like some granny curtains with like some flowers. And I tried to make some overalls and I got really frustrated at it and I threw them away because I'd sewn like what I thought was this part was actually this part. And I'd sewn it like back to front, and it was like ugh, and I just got really frustrated. And I like altered the pattern and everything. It's like that's not right. That's not supposed to be. That's supposed to be the lapel. And I was like the under, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's so bad. But there was such a cute pattern. I'm gonna try and like remake those overalls, I think. So let's see how much time we have. 11 minutes. So Yeah, so whatever it is that you want to do, like, I would up your interview skills. I think that really helped me. Like, I bought a book. I'm gonna put it on here because I got it from the library and I had to go back. And I went to an interview workshop, which, I recommend if you guys want to go to that. Normally they're free. Um, just look in your community, see what you have, because a lot of them are government funded because they're like, we want you to get a job. Especially in the UK. Look it up. I can't remember what it was, but it was so handy. And the guy I went to the workshop with, he literally quoted exact word for word from the book, because when people want, when they hire you, all they're looking for is, will you do the job? Can you do the job? Will you fit in? Those are the three things that they want in a job. So don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get a job, because actually you could have not done one of those three things, and that's okay, because that job probably isn't right for you anyway. So, and you'll find a job that is. So don't ever, like, like if you like if you believe in the universe, like, sorry, such a millennial thing to do. Oh my gosh. Right. If you believe in the universe, I had a quote that said, um, the universe, or God, what they say, what does it say? The universe never says no, it says not yet, or I've got something better for you. So if you ever get rejected, it's because there's something better for you. And that's a great, positive, amazing way to look at life. But when I read that book about doing the interview, I realized that I was doing everything wrong. And, you know, there's things like, even if you have a condition, even if you think you don't have, the skills to, have a job, or you believe that your condition is a limitation, it is not. Because I was actually sat next to someone who had ADHD, and she was really worried that they wouldn't hire her because they have ADHD, and I'm like, no, that's like totally against the law. And I realized that, and I'm glad I went to that workshop, because there's this section for if you have like a disability, which I'm classed as having. And um what is it? You put it in the conditions, like, thingy, and then you say things like, I probably won't make eye contact, or like, I need these cue cards, or like, I need this and that, and they can't reject it. Like, they just can't. So don't ever worry, like, if you have, whatever condition you have, they can't do anything about it. It's the laws, the Equality Act of 2010, which, thank God, we can play golf. The women can play golf, and we can buy a house. Thank God. It's ridiculous how, like, how not long ago that was. Oh my gosh. So, yes. So again, like, I'm just going to talk about time management last minute we have, because like it says, like, I'm exhausted, and I have realized that I've not effectively managed my time. Like, once you do get a job, prioritize your time. Oh my gosh, such a minute. So I'm actually free on Wednesdays, so I can probably record a podcast on Wednesday. Postman just scared me. It's fine. I could probably record a postcard. Life, what is it? A podcast on Wednesday, because I do have that time to delegate that for you guys. So, hey, postman. um Post person, actually. Um, Not one trick pony or anything. So, right. So find that time. So again, if you do find yourself lacking, like right now, when I fell asleep, in every, like, my bra was, I was like, what is going on? It's so weird. Find that time. Google Calendar is so good for that. There's so many like classes you can have where you can like even have different calendars for different things, and you can color coordinate like things, and also the tasks. Like, I know there's like these, even the emails. Like, my friend says, like, she doesn't use a diary or anything. Like, you can use a diary to prioritize your tasks, and find that. Find it. Make yourself, if you can't fit, and really be gentle on yourself, because it's really hard, like, to do everything. You can't do everything at once, and you can also take your time to do things. And that's absolutely okay. Like, even the day before yesterday, I remember I was actually getting really upset about myself, and hilariously, like, what did I read? Where are you? I don't know where it is. Yeah. Is that I read this book and it had the answer for me. I was like, Arnold, he's like one of my favorite persons on the planet, and I totally believe in his like mindset and everything, and I have it. And yeah, I can get really hard on myself, and I just ended up being really upset, and I was like, I want to go to the beach, and then there was a roadblock on the beach, the road to go to the beach, and I was like, oh my gosh, what was this do? So I just came home, went to bed, and just read this, and I had Arnold because he's got it on Spotify as well. If he goes on Spotify, and he was just reading it to me in his very Austrian accent. So you know, weird synchronicities like that. Like he had the answer in there for me. ADHD. I've got my thing. What is my thing? Oh no, we've got 6 minutes left. Um, so yeah, so don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself. Take your time, be easy. Sometimes there are things that aren't in your control, and that's okay because maybe that thing wasn't right for you or there's something better. Mostly look at it like there's something better. Don't be too hard on yourself. Don't get caught up. Don't do it. It's the worst. Um, but I think you'll find the right job for you. Find out what you want to do. You can even like cut out things from magazines and like put them on like I would say a box. I would put them in a box, and I was gonna do this, especially like finding my dream guy, which is super lame. But think about all the things that you want to do, find like magazine snippets of like something similar and then put them on in a box and let go, which is weird because this talks about this in this, and it's called a manifestation box, where it talks about all the things that you want in life, and then instead of putting them on a vision board, put them in a box and then let it go and forget about it, and then eventually it will come like to pass. It's so strange how it works, but it does. And there are so many things, like things that happen that I've seen, like, oh my gosh, where I've thought about needing something in the past, and there it is right in front of me. And I can't remember when this happened. It did happen recently with something, but then I just say, no, thank you, universe, not yet, not, you know, not for me right now, or something. Like, I'm totally weird about it. It's just like, thank you, but not right now. I'll get it another point. It totally happened with something in a charity shop, and I saw it, and or it was a thrift store, and I saw it, and I was like, I needed that, like, I needed that, but I can't remember what it was. Oh my gosh. Like this in a charity shop I saw, and it was like, I totally need this, and like graphic design, and I totally need this to illustrate my books. Thank you. But I'm gonna get like one that's you can see it. And that happened. But there's such weird things. I can't remember what it was. I'm trying to see if I can see it. Oh, I don't know, but yeah, so put it out there, imply it, say I want this, this is what I want for a job, this is how I see myself, put it in a box and put it away. It's so strange how it actually happens. But again, yeah, don't be too hard on yourself, and you'll find the right thing that's for you. And it totally works, all this, by the way, because I totally got a job. It was so strange. It totally works. Um, but yeah, but just don't be too hard on yourself. And I think that's it for this episode of the podcast, guys. I hope it was all like, you got everything, and hopefully we can keep doing these every Wednesday. Depends, like, I've noticed there's some things wrong in my nutrition because I'm exhausted. So I now need to level up in what I need to do. But I hope you guys got something from this, and yeah, I think that's everything for this episode of the Crystalline Podcast. I think, yeah, I will keep trying to do this every Wednesday. And yeah, right. So yes, leave comments below on like what you want to learn. And I just want to see the community. That would be really great. Just have a chat, especially in Spotify and on YouTube. We can do that because I think we're gonna stay on Spotify and YouTube. Who? Me? Yeah. Who the fuck is we? Me and my right and left side of my brain are gonna stay on YouTube. And yeah. So thank you so much for listening to this episode. I hope you're well, and I've been your host, Simon Clark, and this has been the Chris Podcast. Thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you in the next one.